Hello, Glenn Samuel from Sniper Photography. Hope you're having a great day today, and looks like there's some rain coming over here very shortly, which means the waterfalls will be working again. Look, there's three things that I think that are very, very important for your landscape photography, and I'll run through with you those three things that I think that if you adhere to or employ in your photography, especially landscape photography, I think you'll find that your images will just jump off the page and they'll be probably better than everyone else's. Now, the first thing that I must say is always shoot in RAW. I don't know why people shoot in JPEG anymore in this day and age, and I know cameras can shoot both JPEG and RAW at the same time, and sometimes I've done that. I'm guilty of that too. And JPEG's great if you just want to upload your images to social media such as Facebook, Instagram and all those other things out there. But when you shoot in RAW, you're capturing as much information as possible that enables you to put it into post-edit and bring out the best that's in that file. So you're drawing all that information out of that file, and you can create a picture or an image that suits you and possibly a lot of other people. So shooting in RAW does have its benefits, and that benefit, as I said, is that image or that file is got a lot of data in it, and once you put it in your computer system, your editing program or editing software, you can bring a lot out of that file to create a beautiful image, especially when it comes to landscape photography. The second thing that I think is important is to forget about shooting in manual. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that say manual's the best, and yeah, I've been guilty of saying that too. But with landscape photography, I always shoot in aperture priority, because you're not really concerned about shutter speed with landscape photography. You're on a tripod, you're slowing that shutter all the way down to get the milky effects through the water if you're photographing a waterfall or so forth. But aperture priority fastens up your work rate or your speed of your work, because the light changes very quickly with landscape photography, so you don't want to be fiddling around with settings and figures and everything else known to man. So aperture priority is, I think, probably the best for you to shoot at. I always shoot aperture priority on my Canon when I'm photographing landscapes, because it's quicker, it's a lot easier, and there's no mucking around with it. And you just set your aperture, which I usually shoot between f8 to f22, f16, f18, and I just let the camera take care of the rest. And as I said, you're not really worried about shutter speeds. So second tip, aperture priority. Whether you use Nikon, Canon, whatever camera you use, aperture priority really suits landscape photography. The third and final thing is very, very important. In this modern day of digital SLRs, we have live view or a live screen in the back of the camera. Now, the third thing is histogram. A lot of people don't know what histogram is. They don't know. When they see it, they just turn it off or flick it off or whatever you do. With the histogram in landscape photography and a lot of other photography areas as well, when you look at the histogram on your live view at the back of your camera, you can see where it's underexposed to the left, overexposed to the right, where you're losing detail in the shadows, or if you're blowing out the highlights on the right hand side or so forth. The histogram is very, very important. By studying the histogram and knowing what it does in your photography, you'll be far more advanced than the next person, because, as I said, a lot of people don't understand what a histogram is or what it does to your photography. So study your histogram when you're out in the field. And if you're doing landscape photography, click on your live view at the back of your camera, switch on the histogram and have a look where it's doing, where the bar is, or that peak on the left, middle, to the right hand side, and you'll soon see where you need to have those peaks. The histogram is very, very important in your photography, so study that. So they're the three tips that I can give you on landscape photography. That's one, always shoot in RAW. 2, aperture priority because you're not worried about shutter speed. And 3 is your histogram. So if you learn those 3 things with your landscape photography, I think you'll find your photography will go leaps and bounds, and you'll be pleasantly surprised of what you can get out of it. So that's it, just another 3 tips for landscape photography here. So thanks for joining me today. As I always say, be nice to yourself, family and friends, but most of all, you keep smiling and keep shooting, and bye for now.